Greetings, YouTube. Welcome back to the channel. You know, sometimes I just miss things. I miss things because they're not that important to me, or I'm simply not paying good enough attention. When it comes to Battlegrounds, I love Battlegrounds for one really important reason. Really two now, but mainly 6-star generic 6 stones. I am obsessed with getting free 6-star generic 6 stones. Win or lose my Battlegrounds matches, it's all about the 6 stones. Besides that, though, the Tier 4 class Catalyst selectors for 100 trophy tokens are incredible. You can get 6 guaranteed every 2 days with these 600 trophy tokens, and that by itself is worth, even if you lose all 3 matches and have no chance. But when it comes to points, I don't really keep track because I don't really care. I'm never going to put up points to be relevant, although I very much appreciate my alliance mates who do. However, Herald of None, who I've featured quite a bit on my channel over the years, wrote this post titled Battleground Solo Event Energy Points Nerf. Now, I didn't know much about this post until I started reading, and then as I kept reading, I realized, holy cow, I can't remember how almost universal the anger is that is reflected on this discussion board post. The anger on this is real, and keep in mind, this is Cyber Weekend week. You don't want to anger your player base. You want them to be fat and happy. Fat, not maybe physically, but fat like, their souls are big and full of joy, because you want those turkeys to be stuffed, as in wallets to be stuffed. This is a weird analogy. For Thanksgiving week, for purchasing Cyber Weekend offers. So, you can see about the event. You've got 500 points for using energy to win a gladiator circuit match and win a victory track match. Using energy to complete a gladiator circuit match, you get 250 just to complete it a victory match. So, win 500 points, completion 250 points. He says, how do you feel about this change? Discuss and vote below. 138 votes. Happy, 5%. Unhappy, 76%. Let me say that again. 76% of 138 votes were unhappy. And then 15% don't care, will play anyway. And then I only use Elder's Marks, so unaffected, 2%. 3 people. Maybe they were just trying to be contrarians, I don't know. It's Damien starts us off with, where is the wait for an official Kabam response option? Herald of None said, nice one. If only they had someone who could proofread these things before releasing them too, huh? This is assuming this is a mistake and not intentional, which it could completely be at this point, unfortunately. And if Kabam says it's unintentional, we've seen that all the time with champion descriptions. They'll say, the description's off. So, who knows? It could also be a fault in the code, which is showing an older iteration of the scoring for matches played with energy. However, I don't think that at 7 a.m., where Kabam is based, anyone who might be able to give us an answer will even be at work yet, so instead of the rage bait post and polls, we should wait and see what they say. Rage bait! Oh. I've heard of clickbait, but rage bait. Well, again, the point of this is not to say what Kabam's ultimate stance on this is going to be. It's to say the anger and the rage is real. Because when you keep scrolling down, why Kabam must ruin everything in this game? And, oh, by the way, this is quite the soliloquy coming. After nearly 8 years, can you imagine any company staying in business, still running and doing this? Unfortunately, they are the ones constantly and consistently sending content to the live server at the worst scheduled times where it can't be manually fixed quickly. Accountability, or it won't ever change, and while they remove pro player events and expect us to pay more for newer half-broken, filled with cheaters game modes, if we are to be the beta testers for them in the live server, you're going to be damn well sure when they keep screwing up, we need to tell them. The alternative is years more of this unnecessary nonsense. Touche, Herald of None. Can I think of any other companies that somehow screw things up consistently? Yeah, I can. A lot of games companies actually. Everything else you've mentioned is completely irrelevant to the current conversation. So this Damien guy is going to bat for Kabam so much. So much. But let's read on, shall we? The Parasite says, if I am not wrong, someone from the team have responded in the past that there are no events or things which will be likely to repeat. I assume those words play even to the reward structure. Yes, personally, I do feel it is not a right way to do it. Even with controversies, they should have let us know things prior to nerf or buff, whatever. Harold Nunn responses. Mackie says, purely a shady and greedy move if it is intended, and it may not be. But part of the purpose of this video is to say, when somebody is angry, they're angry. Sometimes new facts that come to light can lessen that anger, sometimes not. It's Cyber Weekend week. Kabam should want none of this week of all times. And it's Damien just keeps saying, Kabam Mike says, I'm looking into this now. And so things keep on going on. Kabam Jack says, looking into this. Resolved, those upcoming events should be gone. Thanks for bringing it to our attention. And so then we now see one should leave soon. The team is aware and confident it'll be resolved ASAP. And hey, all, I can confirm this was unintentional and that we are reverting it ASAP. We hope it should be fixed before the event starts and should be done ASAP. Sorry for the confusion. And then DNA 3000 makes a joke about the airline industry. And at the end, here we go. So, the anger is real, but the good news is Kabam addressed it. This was almost a PR nightmare for them. But this is why forums exist, right? To make complaints and for Kabam to get on the same page. And I do think actually this could be a video, hopefully, if you watched it to the end, where we have a positive outcome. Kabam eliminates the coding, I guess, that created the drama in the first place. And they have multiple forum mods, forum announcers address it. I do think it's worth mentioning, though, that part of the reason why this happened, seemingly, was that at first they posted it and didn't notice it, or at least didn't acknowledge it, until players got upset. I still think one of the biggest, most consistent complaints about this game is that the people who code things or test things just don't take the time to look into the fine details of things going live on the server until it's too late. That was one of the posts on page 1 of this thread. Overall, all's well that ends well, I suppose. But I get if people were still annoyed by it. The bottom line is, it is now Tuesday. We have just 3 days until Cyber Weekend offers, and Kabam can't afford for any more public relations posts to potentially affect their bottom line. Thanks for the feedback. The anger on this was real. At least it all turned out to be okay.